Okay, time to get back into these adaptations. Here are 19 reasons to watch Castle Rock Season 2. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dave Musson and this is a place where I talk to you about all things Stephen King. And for the first time in months, we're back going through 19 reasons to watch an adaptation. Yep, I've had my little break to try and catch up a bit. Still got quite a lot to watch, not gonna lie, but hey, it feels a lot more manageable now and I'm sort of easing myself back in to the adaptations. Still got lots of series to go through, so the channel's still going to be a mixture of adaptations talk and Silver Scream stuff as well and specials, but this video is wrapping up the Castle Rock coverage and I'm going to be going through Season 2 in particular. Now, Season 2 of Castle Rock ran for 10 episodes in 2019 on Hulu, and I have separated it from my coverage of Season 1 because they are wildly different beasts. If you'd like to watch my 19 reasons to watch Season 1 of Castle Rock, you can go and do that right now. Now, because it's been a while since we did one of these adaptations, time to quickly go over how these things work. I'm giving you 19 reasons to watch it. Some of those reasons will spoil a first time watch, so what I will do is save those until after my little spoiler alert. Now for this one, because it's a series, what I'm actually going to do is do that spoiler jump a little bit sooner than I might do for a movie, because I've got notes for every single episode here. There's 10 of them, so that's going to take up quite a few of those reasons. So some of it will be spoiler free, some of it will be a little bit spoilery. Totally up to you how much you watch. And hey, you can always come back and watch the rest once you've actually been and checked out the thing I'm talking about, okay? Now, Season 2 of Castle Rock features Lizzy Caplan and Tim Robbins as kind of the headline names among the cast. And it's got a couple of big storylines. And, well, it has a lot of things that I want to say about it. And not a lot of them are positive. So I guess we should get into this. Kind of not the best one to be getting back on the adaptations horse with, but what the heck, we're doing it right now. If you want to watch Castle Rock Season 2, it's available on Amazon and on Apple. And here are my reasons to watch it. 19 of them, in fact. My 19 reasons to watch Castle Rock Season 2. Let's go. Okay, what's the headline reason to watch Season 2 of Castle Rock then? Well, young Annie Wilkes. Yeah, we get Annie Wilkes rocking up in The Rock, and over the course of these 10 episodes, we get more about her backstory, we get more about her motivations, and we see her as a woman in her 30s, with a daughter in fact. Sounds good, sounds interesting, right? We also get a return to Salem's Lot of sorts. No, not the movie A Return to Salem's Lot. We go back to the town of Jerusalem's Lot. This is the second big plot of this series. There's stuff going on in Jerusalem's Lot. There's a new building development happening right by the Marston house. Again, sounds good on paper, right? This series is such a letdown. The Annie Wilkes story kind of has a bit of promise in the first episode, but so quickly descends into trashy, horrible fanfic that it will just grate you completely. As for the storyline set in Salem's Lot, you're telling me you did one season of a show set in Castle Rock and then got bored and had to go to a different town in Season 2. Castle Rock is pumped full of stories. Tell us those ones. So when it comes to performances in this, at a top level, Lizzy Caplan as Annie Wilkes is very good. The only thing is, she's basically just cosplaying Kathy Bates from the 1990 movie, which of course I've already covered. So it kind of feels better than it is because it's super familiar. It's comforting. It is Stephen King, constant reader, constant viewer, just perfection. So yeah, it's fine, but it's not particularly original. Everybody else, massive shrug. Right, lastly, before the jump to spoilers, because I've got notes on 10 episodes to go through, my recurring criticism with all of these series. Too long. Too fucking long. 10 episodes. Not needed. 6 episodes of this would have been great. 8 episodes would probably still been too long, but maybe a bit more acceptable. 10, abso-fucking-lutely not. Too long. Right then, it's time to dig out my notes and go episode by episode. So consider this your spoiler alert. I'm going to be talking about each episode here. Appreciate that's kind of not many non-spoilery reasons to watch this season. But hey, this is how I do the series on here. Go through episode by episode. So we're going to get into that now. So if you need to bail here and come back once you've rewatched or watched season 2 of Castle Rock, please do. I'll see you there. Or if you want to just skip to the end, use the timestamp in the description and I will see you at the outro. Otherwise, stick with me because I've got a few more reasons, sort of, for you to watch Castle Rock Season 2. Coming right up. Right. I'll go through my notes then. So, Episode 1. So we know Shawshank has reopened. We see this Somali community in Jerusalem's Lot. We meet Tim Robbins. We see Annie Wilkes turn up with her emo kid. She's in room 19 in this kind of sort of mobile home park, obviously. And it's all interesting. It's all setting things up. And we get a really great scene. We get Ace Merrill with Annie Wilkes, and Annie Wilkes kills Ace Merrill and then seemingly has a terrible accident herself. It's intriguing. It's interesting. I'm kind of in at this point. So, strong start. Episode 2. I'm just going to, from this point, I'm just going to read from my notes because I think they've really captured my experience of rewatching this. Oh no, Annie's found a vampire's lair. And the Marston house. Fuck off. So bored. And then we've got Pop Merrill, who Tim Robbins plays. Turns out he's adopted a couple of Somali people who are now adults. And then we get these Pop army flashbacks, which are just yawn, and then Pop faints, and then Ace reappears. Is he a ghost? And do I care? No, I don't. Still 8 episodes to go. Episode 3. Oh no! Undead people. We get a nice little nod to the body where somebody says, wanna go look for a dead guy. And we get some very on-the-nose nods to Misery, where Joy, who is Annie Wilkes' daughter, tricks Annie with a sedative and then ties her to the bed, which is very much like Paul in Misery and kind of like Gerald's game as well. And then a ghost says that Annie needs to kill Joy. And by this point, I'm just like, oh my God, still 7 episodes to go. Episode 4, we get the backstory of Abdi and Nadia, who are the 2 Somali folk that Pop Merrill adopted and who are now grown adults and living in the community. We also get lots of scenes of undead Ace Merrill running errands, which is about as interesting as it sounds. We see Pop have his own Irish wake because he's suffering from cancer. He ain't gonna survive. So we see that. We get some random murders by Ace's goon of zombies, or zombie goons even. And then we learn that Pop adopted Abdi and Nadia because while serving in the US Army in Somalia, he shot and killed their mum. Great, didn't see that coming. Right, episode 5. Now you remember, if you've watched my coverage of it, that season 1 of Castle Rock, episode 7, The Queen, was this magnificent bottle episode on Sissy Spacek's character Ruth. Like one of the best pieces of television I have ever watched in my life. Episode 5, Season 2 is a bottle episode. It's a flashback bottle episode on Annie's upbringing. It's crap. So we see that Annie is dyslexic, therefore murder is fine. Cool. We also see the origin of number 1 fan, and I actually wrote fuck off in capital letters. It comes from Annie's dad, and it's really, really takes the piss. We get the most obvious storyline going where Annie's dad hires a really hot woman to be Annie's tutor. The hot woman is played by Sarah Gadon, who is from 11/22/63. So a little link there. And then, of course, Annie's dad sleeps with the tutor. And then, of course, she gets pregnant from that. And then, of course, who we think this whole time Joy has been Annie's daughter is actually Annie's half-sister. We see Annie's mum die by suicide. We see Annie stab Rita, who is her tutor, who her dad fucked, and who is the mum of Joy. And we assume she's dead, but then, big twist, we find out she's still alive at the end. and we find out that Joy is trying to track her down. Again, wow, what a big surprise. So episode 6, we see a bit more of Rita. We get some more vampire undead shit going on, but it's so boring. We're now like learning that they're going to raise the spirit of this vampire type person who was killed for being a witch in the 1600s or some shit like that. I can't even remember. It was so boring. We get someone who works for child services called Steve Bannerman, which is obviously a bit of a nod. And I literally can't even read my own notes here. Oh yeah, Rita turns up and she shoots herself. And he says she did it. It's all very silly. It's kind of pointless just having that character in for 2 episodes. And they're really trying hard with lots of heart-tugging music here. And it just doesn't work. But hey ho, only 4 episodes to go at this point. So episode 7. We get loads of flashbacks from Jerusalem's Light in 1619, which, yeah, was really fucking great. Not. We get a toy model of Christine the car on a map at some point in this. And we get a real one in the parade going through the town. Just, again, literally, fuck off. My big note here is I actually had some really nice toast while I was watching this particular episode. We see a mass sacrifice of the old Salem's Lot folk. And then there's this admittedly fairly creepy bit where there's this statue of an angel and everyone in town just has to stop and stare at them. And then we find out that the angel is played by Bill Skarsgård, returning from season 1. And honestly, I just do not care. Episode 8. Oh, only 3 to go now. Only 3 more hours of painful television. Everyone in town follows the weird statue. We see a signpost to Derry, which is a nice little Easter egg, I guess. Chris, who is Pop's other son, Ace's brother, son, nephew, I can't even remember now. He's like in love with Nadia and stuff. Loads of the hypnotized people take joy. It's just so fucking dull. And by now, I just really hate the Kathy Bates cosplay because it's really not good. We see Annie kind of chilling and killing. We see Chris comes back as an undead and then is shot. And I just gave up writing notes at this point because honestly I didn't care. Right, then we go to episode 9. And we learn that Warden Lacey's wife from season 1 has been murdered. And honestly, I thought she died in season 1. So there we go. We see Warden Lacey's letters to Pangborn about the kid from season 1, which are now owned by Pop. And Pop's holed up inside his shop. It's really fucking boring again. We've got more Annie stuff. We get a great shot of some needles in someone's eyes, but that's about it. We have in Pop's store, we see he's got a little sign saying Caveat Emptor, which is the sign that Leland Gaunt has in Needful Things. And again, just fuck off. We see Pop wearing a bomb vest, but it's got no batteries in, so he can't blow himself up. And the episode ends with Undead Ace shooting Pop. And then episode 10, we're going to try and pull it all together. Pop gets revived, obviously. We just see some really boring stuff. We learn the Castle Lake is a thinny, but we knew that from season 1 anyway. Marston House gets blown up. And then basically it all comes back to Annie and Joy kind of taking refuge. And we see Annie find a misery book in the motel that they're staying in, which is like, oh God, now they're trying to bring that storyline in. And then the whole season rounds off with Annie killing Joy because she thinks Joy is possessed. But then we learn she wasn't possessed. And it's like, oops, she killed her accidentally. But then we're like, oh no, she's not dead actually, it's fine. And we see this very sweet scene towards the end where they're off on a university campus to go meet an author on their book tour. And it's Annie and Joy and they're really happy. And then the camera pans out and we find out that no, actually Joy's not there. She did get murdered by Annie. And then, oh my God, the final bit of the series is we learn that the author Annie has gone to see, of course, at a reading is Paul fucking Sheldon. And fuck off again, and then fuck off some more. I am done. No fucking thank you. Okay, I like to pick out a favourite scene My favourite scene in this entire series comes from episode 1, and it's where Annie kills Ace Merrill with ice cream. Kind of. It's fun.
So you're gonna shut her up so I don't have...
When it comes to my favourite line, I didn't like any of them, so let's move on. Okay, and finally, let's wrap up Easter eggs and connections to other Stephen King works. So, Tim Robbins was Andy Dufresne in Shawshank. Yeah, we got that. Sarah Goodon was in 11/22/63. She played Sadie. We get Bill Skarsgård back, who is in season 1 of Castle Rock, and of course in the It movies, and in, at the time of recording, the upcoming Welcome to Derry series. And that's kind of about it for connections. The Easter eggs are kind of covered in the episode by episode stuff. Yes, it's chock full of them because this is like base level trashy fan fiction shit and I hate it. But we're now done. So that's good. Okay, there we go. 19 reasons to watch Castle Rock season 2. I mean, honestly, kind of don't bother unless fanfic is your thing. Just go and watch season 1 instead. It's way better. But hey, we are done now. We are back on the adaptations trail. Thank you for watching this far. If you've come this far, I'm going to do some quick plugs right now. So links in the description for all the things I like to plug, which are my award-winning collection of short stories, Once More Around the Sun, my Stephen King trivia book, which, yes, has a quiz on Castle Rock. Does it have one on season 2? I think it does, actually. I can't remember at this point. But hey, go and test your knowledge. There's links to my range of Stephen King themed band shirts. This is not one of them. This is a picture of my idiot dog on a t-shirt. Cool t-shirt, admittedly. Stupid dog. And if you like what I'm doing on this channel, I'm not normally this negative and shouty and hostile. Honestly, you can become a constant viewer, get extra content, early access to regular content, all of that kind of stuff. Links down below. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for sticking with me while I get back towards the adaptations trail. I'd say it's going to be not quite week for week going forwards, apart from next week we are going to be covering another adaptation. We're going to be wrapping up the 2010s, in fact, with a return to The Overlook. So do join me for that. Thanks as ever for your support. Don't bother with Castle Rock Season 2, it's a bunch of crap. And I will see you very soon. Okay, bye.